Hey guys, welcome back to Kinetic Craft. In our last video, we unboxed and set up the AMS, which is the Automatic Material System. And I know you guys had a ton of questions about how it actually works. So in this video, we're diving into how the AMS switches filaments automatically and also covering some super useful troubleshooting tips. So if you're curious about getting the most out of your AMS, smash that like button and stick around because we've got some real gems today.
Here's the thing, loads of you have asked how does this AMS know when to switch filaments and how does it pull that off without messing up the print? Well, here's how the magic happens. First off, AMS is like super smart. It literally keeps track of how much filament is there on each spool. When it needs to swap, it pulls back the filament cleanly and snips it right. No mess, no stress. Then it feeds the next color and purges just enough so that there's no leftover color mixed in. There are times when the filament tends to get stuck and stop when the extruder is not able to get a hold of it. You might face this problem even if there is no tangle pulling back onto the filament. So what I will try and do is push the filament inside manually.
Here we go.
So my printer has prompted me that the extruder is not extruding normally. I cannot see any visible tangling in the filament. So I'm going to resume printing and push the filament inside when the printer actually tries to pull and grip it. First, let's try resuming printing and see if the printer is able to grip the filament by itself. As we can see here, the printer is not able to grab the filament on its own properly. There's a clicking sound and the extruder is not rolling smoothly. It keeps pushing the filament back to try again. So in this case, we're going to be helping the printer by pushing the filament forward manually. Now I have to start a new print since this one is ruined. Although I could skip this one particular object from my Bambu Lab handy application, but I'd like to show you guys how the new print is coming out now that I've cleaned the nozzle. I have now attached a clean plate and I'll be instructing my printer to restart the print. Let's see how this one goes. So this is the final look and it's coming out pretty decent. The printer definitely has a great hold onto the filament now and there are no gaps in between. Next problem that we'll be dealing with is deep cleaning our nozzle as well as the extruder. In this case, there's a clicking sound coming out of my extruder, which means that it is not able to get a hold onto the filament smoothly. And as you can see, it is trying to print but it is not able to do so since the filament is not flowing out freely. The printer automatically realizes that it is not able to print and retries to pull the filament. From my experience, mostly in these cases when the extruder is clicking, something is stuck in our nozzle. So what we're going to have to do is open the extruder and deep clean the nozzle. We will be removing the silicone cover of the nozzle and we will set the nozzle temperature to 220 degrees. Once it reaches the correct temperature, we will switch off our printer. We'll be taking off the cover of the extruder for removing the nozzle. Since I know it's at a very high temperature, I'm going to take a screwdriver to assist me in opening the bracket, which acts as the lock, and pull the nozzle right out. Make sure you're wearing a thick pair of gloves or mittens so that the heat doesn't burn your fingers. Once our nozzle is out, all we have to do now is grab a plier and pull the jutted out filament from the nozzle. After cleaning our nozzle, we will simply just put it back in its right place. We'll switch our printer back on and set our temperature of the nozzle to a constant of 100 degrees. Next, we'll be taking some filament and pushing it through one of the inlets, which would basically push out whatever leftover filament there is inside the extruder and the nozzle. For the filament, I'll be using the 20 grams of open filament that I received in my package of the 3D printer from Bambu Lab. I'm going to insert one end of this filament through one of these inlets and push it inside until whatever is stuck inside the extruder comes out from the nozzle. Let's remove one of the PTFE tubes by pressing down the black parts and pulling it out like that.
Invincible.
After that, we just need to insert the tube and keep pushing it until something comes out from the other end. Make sure your nozzle stays heated when you're pushing down the filament, because if it's not heated, then the filament won't melt and come out from the other end, and you will have to apply a lot of pressure. So this was what all came out, and what we have to do is simply pull out the filament. Put back the covers of the extruder and silicone cover of the nozzle, and we are all set for a new print. So this is the case where I had received a notification from my Bambu Handy application that there is something wrong in my print and the printer has come to a stop. So as we can see, our filament is stuck, and let's see what the printer is prompting. It's telling us that the filament or spool may be stuck, which is correct because as we can see, we have a tangle in our filament. This is another thing that I like about Bambu Lab printers. they automatically stop as soon as they detect an error or some kind of issue with the print. Let's go ahead and fix the tangle. So my machine has already cut the filament and it is not going into the extruder anymore. I'm pretty sure as soon as it detected an error, it cut the filament automatically and pushed it a little bit backward. On the screen of the printer, I get two options. One is to resume printing and the second one is to check the solution. So let's see what I get when I press this button. Sure enough, it's telling me that the AMS in slot 2 is stuck. This is basically the assistant guiding me on what to do. I'm going to try and resume printing to show you guys what the printer does. So here, the printer pulls in the filament, but because of the tangle, it is unable to do so, and the extruder is not able to grab it. It's going to try and do the same thing over and over again, but it's going to fail to get a grip on the filament. Finally, it's going to prompt me that it failed to export the filament and it might be because of a clogged extruder or stuck filament. So let's go ahead and solve this issue. We'll pull out our filament from the PTFE tube. Since the printer has already cut the filament, it won't be stuck in the extruder and will easily come out. I'm going to press this yellow button and roll out my filament. Once the filament roll is out, I'll loosen the filament a little bit and detangle it. Now we just simply put back our filament and load it onto the printer.
Invincible.
We'll resume our print and let's see what happens. As we can see, the printer is finally able to get a hold of the filament and it is flowing out smoothly. And there we go, our printer resumes printing with a normal flow.
We explored how the AMS intelligently switches filaments and tackled the three most common issues AMS faces: loading problems, cleaning the extruder, and preventing tangles. If this helped you out somehow, then do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe for more 3D printing content and hit that bell so that you don't miss any more upcoming videos. If you've got any other questions or troubleshooting issues, drop them down in the comment below and I will make sure to help you out. Thanks for watching and as always, happy printing!